What if I told you the past, present, and the future were all the same thing? You probably question it because logistically, logically, it doesn't, sound like it makes sense. But just allow me to further explain, and I don't know, maybe it could change your perception on it. I decided to change the scenery because my house, it's very loud and chaotic at the moment, so we're just gonna sit outside and continue. So you need to be mindful that both the future and the past evolve from the current moment. The past once was the current moment. It no longer is because it's the past. And also the future evolves from the current moment. So that's why it's important for you to stay present. It's not called, present for no reason. The present is a present. It's truly a gift. So be mindful of what you're doing in the present moment, because what you do right now will determine the outcome of your future. And this is exactly why you hear conscious people, or just people in general, preach about being in the current moment and staying present, because the present moment is genuinely all that matters, and what you do right now determines everything. And those two things alone, the future and the past both evolving from the current moment, is exactly why I told you guys at the beginning of the video that it's all the same thing, because eventually the past and the future will become the current moment. So yeah. And also being mindful of the past is very important as well, because through past experiences, we gain wisdom, and with that wisdom we're able to apply more positive patterns of behavior for a more positive outcome, in the current moment, because we already gain wisdom through those negative experiences we've had in the past. So looking back on the past basically plays a huge important part in the current moment, because the past is nothing but a teacher if you allow it to be, and you're aware enough to notice that. And I'll give an example of that, so that you can kind of picture what I'm talking about. Let's say, the sun's moving. I hope my butt doesn't get green from the grass. I literally had to go to the gym in this outfit. But for example, let's say, in your past relationships, there always seems to be a similar negative outcome. Let's say that this outcome is you're constantly attracting low vibrational men who, invalidate your feelings, and they don't do the bare minimum for you. And, you're constantly, wondering, why do men treat me like this? And, I'm not saying that this is entirely on you, but you play a huge role in why these behaviors are constantly repeating themselves. The universe, through that, the universe is trying to, help you realize something. And that something being that you need to, look within and do something differently, because this is not entirely, their fault. When you allow certain behaviors, you're just constantly going to attract them until, you break that cycle. So yeah. And lastly, let's talk about the future. I often feel like most individuals are anxious about the future, and I used to be one of them until I learned what I'm going to share with you guys. I feel like we're often anxious about the future because, we can't predict the outcome. We won't know exactly what's going to happen, which often leads to anxiety. And, because of this anxiousness, we spend more time dreaming about the future instead of doing things to actually acquire the future that we find ourselves dreaming about. And I feel like I've said this in my previous videos, but if you can dream about something, it already exists. You just have to manifest it into reality. You just have to work it into reality. You just have to believe it into reality. And if you're doing the work to acquire this future, it has no choice but to manifest into your external reality. It's literal science. And I say that all the time, and it shocks a lot of people, and I can feel it when it does. Okay, but that's besides the point. Just keep that in mind when it comes to the future. But that's a little bit off topic, but I look kind of dusty in this video, but I'm still gonna upload it because it's really not about how I look. I'm just trying to share a message. So if you find yourself constantly dreaming about a future, be mindful that it does exist. You just have to learn how to get there. And you learn by doing, not by just letting time pass by wondering, And it takes a lot of strength to, get out of that comfort zone of constantly dreaming, because doing the work ain't easy. It's not. But that's the only way, that things come to us. No one is lucky. I don't really believe in luck. I believe that certain opportunities just come to certain individuals who deserve them, and you must make yourself deserving of whatever opportunity you wish to seek. So learn how to become the person that deserves whatever you're trying to seek in your future reality. So stop trying to predict the future. Stop letting that fear hold you back, and just focus on what you can do to acquire the future that you're trying to seek. And you do that by staying present, because that future that you're thinking about, it all starts from what you're doing right now. Nothing's easy, of course, but yes, just remember to stay in the current moment, and everything's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. We're all gonna be all right. You just have to stay present, because it's truly a gift. That's why they call it a present.